So, I've been informed that the angle of my camera in the previous video has made people feel a certain way. So, I'm going to try a different angle and see if that works out better and it doesn't give you guys some weird thoughts. Turns out I do actually talk better when I am standing, so I can move around more. So, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to do a few announcements first. The last video was received very well, and I thank you all for the support. But there has been some questions regarding my normal content. People have been asking, well, when is that stuff coming back? Now, if you guys did not know, I have been sick for a while. I am just now in a good recovery, and I have been working on it. But I did more or less take a week off of YouTube thanks to that, and I'm getting back into the groove of things. In fact, doing these daily videos was part of the recovery process. That way I can get back into the groove of things. I actually like doing this stuff. I still do want to do these daily short videos where I just yap a lot because I find it fun and fulfilling. And I think you guys like it too. So this is something I don't want to stop, but absolutely I am going to get back into the standard lore videos very soon. But I don't want to make this video about me. I want to highlight other content creators that are currently grinding to get Ghost Frontline content out there. Ghost Frontline in particular, they have an active community, mostly on Discord and on Twitter, but on the YouTube side of things, it has been difficult. So I hope this video helps out the people who are currently grinding. So first, I'm going to group up the people who go more into the meta side of Ghost Frontline 2. This one's a pretty long list because honestly, it probably is the most useful content. So first one on the list is someone that I hold in pretty high regard, and that's Zelleranth. I have mentioned him quite a bit in the past, but Zelleranth is a very good content creator, very chill, and he focuses a lot on tier list and how well certain teams do in certain content. He has made videos for other games, but he primarily sticks to Ghost Frontline. Next up is Alchrist. He focuses mostly on doing optimal rotations to get the most out of any doll that you use. So I would say this guy is the one-stop shop to playing any character efficiently. Out of everyone on this list, this is the guy you should go to for that. Next up is Gachi Tabby. He does reviews of characters, which kind of ends up going into like, should you pull the character in general or not? And then usually right after that is a guide on how to play the character as a beginner. Not necessarily doing optimal play the entire time. His video is more about getting your foot into the door. Highly recommended for people who are beginners and just wants to play the game without being ultra sweaty. Next up is Warden Mobile Gaming. Now, Warden Mobile Gaming is known for doing multiple gacha games, but he has been grinding a lot on Ghost Frontline. Now, he mostly does reviews, basically amounting to should you pull, but they go into pretty decent depth, and he does look into the CN side of things as well. And next up is a special recommendation, and that's Kansai Dorito. Now, I have personally taught the Kansai Dorito, and it turns out that we're big fans of each other. Now, the big reason why I like Kansai Dorito is that he does more than just meta talk. He ends up doing like story profiles for characters as well as fun facts and going into the weapons themselves. He is a great blend of talking about meta while also getting into story bits about the characters. And it also turns out that he watches my videos. So Kansai Dorito honestly is probably one of those content creators that you already watch. He is very prevalent in the Ghost Frontline 2 community. But in case you have never heard of him, here is a recommendation. Now, we know how important Gunsmoke Frontline is. If you're in a guild, and you should be in a guild, you have to do Gunsmoke Frontline. So one content creator I recommend is Miku Sama. Miku Sama uploads videos about Gunsmoke Frontline and the optimal rotations and optimal characters that you can use in order to get high scores. And let me tell you, Miku Sama does a lot of Gunsmoke Frontline videos. Definitely a treasure trove of content that you guys can use to make your gameplay better in Gunsmoke Frontline. And of course, we cannot forget about the CN side of things. We gotta get our news from China somehow. And there's two particular creators that you should keep in mind whenever you need to look for CN news. The first one is Hoxie Nia. When it comes to news, they're pretty hot on this. Now, there isn't a lot more content besides the news, but sometimes that's just all you really need. And then the last one, you know him, I know him, everyone knows him, often regarded as one of the pillars of the community. It's Sia. Sia is very active in the community and has been for a super long time. I even watched his videos years ago regarding Girls Frontline 1. I looked at some of his videos regarding S rank clears on maps that I had issues with. Definitely one of high prestige, and more or less dabbles into just about everything, including the news. So out of everyone on this list, this one is the most reliable to go to. If somehow you have never heard of him before, this is my recommendation. Now, that's about it for all of the meta content creators. Now, the big thing about a community is that if you only focus on meta content creation, you're kind of doing something wrong, because the whole thing about being part of a community is being able to make your own fun. So the next set of people is a highlight on them doing content creation on fun stuff that you can just enjoy. It's just entertainment. So first one on this list is called DMartino. DMartino is a content creator who uses models for skits. And I've seen some of them, and honestly, it's pretty amusing. I do recommend it. Now I'm going to lump these last two together, and this is because they both do dance videos. Mika Team did release models for content creators to use for dance videos. This is Crimson and Akashi, and I look at their videos and it's pretty good. Now, they don't only do Girls Frontline content, they jump into other games as well. And obviously this is because they're not getting a huge amount of views for their Girls Frontline content. A lot of content creation is about motivation, and believe me when I say getting a lot of comments and getting a lot of compliments are just having a conversation in general with your fans is a ton of motivation for people who do content creation. So especially for the people who are doing entertainment content, it's very helpful. Now, that said, this isn't a lot of content creators. So there is one last person on the list, when I shouldn't even say person, because it's more of like a potential outlet, which is you guys. If you guys are ever interested in content creation, just give it a shot. It's free to do. You don't really need to do a lot. Even if it is just talking about the meta or stuff like that, it can lead to some magical stuff. Like me, I have done content creation for years, but I've only gotten serious about it last year. And honestly, I do not regret doing it at all. I haven't reached financial freedom yet. That is a goal, but content creation is a passion-driven thing, and I would not be doing this if I was not passionate about it. So if you ever had it in your head that you wanted to get into content creation, there's no harm in it. The worst that can happen is that you realize it's not for you. But if it is for you, it can put you on a journey that you will never regret. So anyway, that's all for me, and I'll see you next time.